What if the Marvel Universe never had its spark? Back in that cave in Afghanistan, Tony Stark built more than just armor. He built the foundation of the MCU. That moment of fire and genius turned a selfish billionaire into a hero who would eventually save the universe. But imagine a darker world where Tony never forged the Iron Man suit, never escaped, and never began his journey toward redemption. Today, we explore a chilling alternate timeline where the heart of the MCU never beats, and the cost of his absence changes everything. Stay with us till the end, and don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending, what-if stories from Marvel's multiverse. 1. The Cave Without Escape. In this timeline, Tony is captured by the Ten Rings but never builds the Mark I armor. His brilliance is wasted in captivity, trapped under the control of terrorists. Without his escape, he remains a prisoner of his own weapons, forced to create destruction rather than redemption. The cave becomes his tomb of regret, instead of the birthplace of Iron Man. His story of transformation never begins, cutting short the evolution from arrogant genius to selfless hero. Yinsen's sacrifice becomes meaningless as Tony has no chance to fulfill it. The man who would change the future dies forgotten in the desert. The MCU loses its first true spark before it ever ignites. The Avengers never rise, the chain of heroes never forms, and the universe itself is left vulnerable to every looming threat. 2. Stark Industries unchecked. Without Tony's escape, Stark Industries continues on its dark path, producing weapons without conscience. Obadiah Stane seizes full control of the company, flooding the world with technology designed only for profit. Governments and terrorists alike benefit, turning wars deadlier than ever before. Instead of becoming a force for good, Stark Tech becomes the backbone of chaos. Pepper Potts is powerless to stop Stane's corruption. The company that once became a beacon of hope transforms into an empire of bloodshed. Without Iron Man, Stark Industries shifts from redemption to ruin. Its unchecked influence shapes the world into a battlefield with no end in sight. 3. A world without Iron Man's inspiration. Tony's survival in the original timeline inspired countless heroes. His public reveal as Iron Man showed that courage could live inside even the most flawed man. Without that reveal, the world loses a symbol of possibility. Spider-Man never finds his mentor. Rhodey never becomes War Machine. The Avengers lose the spark that unites them. The idea that one man can step into the light and own his mistakes vanishes. Without Iron Man's inspiration, the MCU becomes colder, with heroes scattered and divided. The ripple effect leaves the universe without a symbol to rally behind. Hope fades before it ever shines. 4. Nick Fury's Lost Initiative. Nick Fury's Avengers initiative was built on the foundation of Iron Man. His belief in extraordinary individuals came alive when Tony embraced his role. But in this alternate world, Fury has no Iron Man to turn to. His files remain open, but the dream of assembling Earth's mightiest heroes feels impossible. Thor may arrive, Hulk may rage, and Captain America may awaken, but without Tony, they remain disconnected forces. The unity that saved Earth in New York never happens. Fury's vision dies as just another failed experiment. The Avengers exist only as a dream left unfulfilled. 5. Earth's defense collapses. During the Battle of New York, Iron Man's role was critical. He redirected the nuclear missile, sacrificing himself for Earth's survival. In this timeline, that sacrifice never comes. The missile strikes the city, wiping out millions. Thor and Cap fight bravely, but without Tony's quick thinking, they fail. The Chitauri overrun humanity, leaving Earth crippled in its first major cosmic battle. The world that once celebrated heroes now buries its dead. The absence of one suit changes the course of human history. Without Iron Man, Earth becomes an easy target for future invasions. 6. Pepper's endless grief. For Pepper Potts, Tony's absence is more than just the loss of a hero, it's the loss of the man she loved. In this world, she never experiences the joy of their love story, never becomes rescue, and never raises a family with Tony. Instead, she watches helplessly as Stark Industries spirals deeper into corruption. Her life is defined by grief and regret, stuck in a company turned evil. Pepper's strength is wasted in boardrooms instead of battlefields. She becomes a tragic reminder of what might have been. Her destiny fades, just like Tony's legacy. She carries unanswered questions that haunt her every day, wondering if she could have saved him. Friends who once admired her now pity her as she hides her sorrow behind a strong face. In the end, Pepper becomes a silent casualty of a world without Iron Man. Villains rise unopposed. Tony's battles against Whiplash, Killian, and Ultron were turning points in the MCU. Without him, these villains rise without resistance. Whiplash unleashes chaos on Stark Tech without a rival to challenge him. Killian spreads extremists unchecked, creating a world plagued by unstable super soldiers. Most dangerous of all, Ultron is never born from Tony's mistakes, but perhaps rises anyway, uncontrolled and catastrophic. Without Iron Man, Earth faces villains with no balance, no foil to stop their ambitions. Evil grows unchecked, filling the void Tony once occupied. 8. Technology as a curse. Iron Man showed the world that technology could serve humanity. But in this world, Stark's inventions remain chained to destruction. Weapons grow stronger but not smarter. Innovation never turns to progress, it stays rooted in war. Armies wield Stark tech like instruments of oppression, crushing weaker nations. Instead of building Ultron or time travel, humanity builds stronger bombs. Science becomes the enemy of peace. Without Tony Stark's vision of repurposing his genius, the world suffers under the curse of unchecked invention. The balance between creation and destruction never comes. 9. The Endgame without Iron Man. The ultimate tragedy unfolds during Endgame. Without Tony, the Avengers cannot crack time travel. Scott Lang's quantum realm knowledge is meaningless without Tony's genius to refine it. The Avengers remain trapped in defeat, unable to undo the snap. Thanos' victory is permanent, and half the universe remains dust forever. The battle against Thanos ends before it begins, with no one to wield the gauntlet. The words, "I am Iron Man," are never spoken. The universe loses not just a hero, but its final savior. 10. A legacy that never was. Tony Stark's legacy was not just his battles, but the way he inspired generations. He showed Peter Parker the importance of responsibility. He built a future for his daughter. He defined what it meant to grow from selfishness into sacrifice. In this darker world, none of that exists. He dies a prisoner in a cave, remembered only as a billionaire who sold weapons. His brilliance becomes a cautionary tale, not a guiding light. The MCU loses its heart before it ever beats. The legacy of Iron Man is reduced to silence, and the story of hope ends before it begins. And that's how everything changes if Tony Stark never built the Iron Man suit. From a prisoner in a cave to a universe left defenseless, his absence shatters the Marvel timeline in ways we can't imagine. Without Iron Man, there are no Avengers, no Endgame, and no redemption. Thankfully, in our reality, Tony Stark lived, fought, and sacrificed, proving that even one man's choices can change everything. If you enjoyed this journey into the darker corners of the Marvel multiverse, make sure to subscribe for more what-if stories that reimagine your favorite heroes.